Our lead story of the day is regarding the White House press pool clashing with Karine Jean-Pierre regarding Joe Biden having classified documents in places where he ain't supposed to be having them. But let me tell you something, folks. These people showed up today. They were being confrontational. They were pushing back, and boy, oh boy, were they fighting for answers. This is an episode you ain't going to want to miss. Support us by hitting that like and subscribe button, leaving us a short, sweet comment down below, and just double checking to make sure YouTube didn't go into your profile without you knowing and change that bell icon to say personalized. It's supposed to say all notifications, folks. Double check to make sure they didn't swindle you and do anything shady behind the scenes without you knowing. Your help and support would be greatly appreciated. Well, we got our first reporter here lined up for you, nice and ready to go, asking about these classified documents that Joe Biden supposedly knew nothing about. Let's go ahead and roll it.
A couple of specific questions regarding the discovery of apparently documents marked classified in the president's former office. The president acknowledged yesterday that he had been briefed that those documents had been found. When was he briefed that those documents had been found?
So let me just lay this down a little bit because there's some, just for folks who happen to not be following this. Look, the president addressed this issue yesterday. He addressed it on in Mexico City on a world stage in front of many of you at a press conference with two of our closest neighbors, as you all know. And he said he takes classified documents and information seriously. He was surprised to learn any records had been found there. He doesn't know what was in them. He said this, just repeating what the president has said. As soon as his lawyers realized these documents were there, they did the right thing and immediately turned them over to the archives. As he said, his team is cooperating fully with the review. And we also released a statement from the White House counsel's office, as you know, on Monday, which had information, detailed information about the particular situation. As my colleagues in the council have stated and said to all of you yesterday, this is an ongoing process under the review of the Department of Justice. So we are going to be limited on what we can say here. But as the president told you, as my colleagues have said to many of you, we are committed to doing the right thing, doing this in the right way, and we will provide further details when it's appropriate.
You mentioned you want to do this the right way. Presumably that means the transparent way. So my question was, when was the president briefed? He said he was briefed. When did that briefing happen?
Again, I'm not going to get into details. I'm not going to get beyond what the president shared yesterday. He laid out what he knew when he knew it. He laid out how important it is. He sees it seriously, very seriously when it comes to taking classified documents and information. I'm just not going to, I know you all are going to have a lot of questions on this, but at this time I'm not going to go beyond what the president said yesterday. I'm not going to go beyond what my colleagues from the White House counsel shared with many of you as well on Monday. And so I'm just going to leave it there. Want to be prudent here and make sure that it is that my colleagues really truly handle this issue.
One more stab at this, because again, this is a lot of importance to people. The president mentioned that handling of classified information is important. These documents were discovered on November 2nd. This didn't become public until my colleagues at CBS News reported this on Monday. That's more than 2 months later. Why was the public not informed while the White House prepared its PR response for 2 months?
Again, this was under review. This is under review by the Department of Justice. I'm not going to go beyond what the president shared yesterday. I'm not going to go beyond what my colleagues at the White House.
I'm smelling cover up, folks. They knew about this before the midterms. They knew about this before the election, and they withheld it from everybody for multiple months. And I love it. She goes, well, when the lawyers found out, we did the right thing. We handed them over. We did the right thing. But yet when Trump had classified documents, you were all freaking out. He's a treason. He's treason. Lock him up. Get the investigations going. We need to have the power of the government with unfettered access to the former president, Mr. 45, and everything that he has. Release the documents. Release his taxes. You see the double standard here. You see the silliness of it. By the way, this is an administration that said they're going to be the most transparent administration that's ever existed. She's going to be the clearest she could possibly be. She ain't being clear at all. It's a bunch of smoke, a bunch of cockamamie that's coming out of her mouth.
Council shared with all of you as well. Look, what you received from the White House counsel on Monday had complete details, a lot of details to all of you on what occurred, and just not going to get beyond that. It is, again, an ongoing process. We're going to respect the process. As the president said, his team handled it the right way, and we're just not going to get ahead of the process from here.
Thanks, Karine. Have you spoken to the president about these documents and their discovery?
I have not spoken. Well, first of all, I have not spoken to the president about any of this specifically because he's laid out what he knows. He has said he doesn't know what is in them, so there's no way for me to talk about the documents if he has said he doesn't know what's in them. And we're just going to allow the process to continue.
So for the sake of the American public who want these questions asked and answered, would the president characterize what happened here as a mistake? Would this White House characterize this as a mistake?
What I'll say is this is an ongoing process. You heard from the president. He spoke about this in detail yesterday in front of, on a world stage, in front of many of you who were there, in front of many of your colleagues. He laid out what he knew. He said that he seriously, he takes this seriously when it comes to classified documents, when it comes to information that is classified. He was surprised to learn about the records had been there. And again, he believes that the lawyers did the right thing, and they immediately turned them over to the
And the
archives.
president saying that he was surprised to learn about these documents. Is he saying that he did not bring those documents to that office?
I'm just not going to go beyond what the president said.
Do we know who did bring those documents to the office?
I'm not going to go beyond what the president said.
But you're saying you want to be transparent and do things the right way. We're
Yes,
not going to get any more answers.
and his team of lawyers did do that. They did the right thing by turning over the documents to the archives. That's what they did once they.
So you're slowly seeing this buildup from these reporters throughout this whole press briefing. And that was kind of the introduction because I wanted to see you lead in the fact of she's not being clear. They're contradicting themselves in terms of the White House, not the reporters themselves. The reporters are trying to get their questions answers of what she's not doing. She's saying, I'm not going to get ahead of the president. The president said this. The president said that. I hope you enjoyed that clip from the Bald Brad Show. If you did, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on all our future content.